As human beings, one of the most powerful tools that we wield is that of Bechira, choosing. And what we can suggest is if we stop to notice how we live our lives, we're choosing, whether consciously or subconsciously, hundreds of thousands of times a day. Either our choosing is coming from our autopilot, it's coming from our nefesh, it's coming from our subconscious, or the more desired way of choosing is that it should come from our consciousness, it should come from our ruach, it should come from our das. And when we deliberately choose, life looks a lot different. When we stop and we think about, where is this choice leading me? So then what happens is that I have a better grip of defining my destiny. Because people think that life is made from the big choices. There is a little bit of truth. However, reality shows us, we can report that really it's the little consistent choices we make every single day that leads us in the direction that we end up in. And that's something really important to understand. If we refer to Pirkei Avos, the first chapter, first Mishnah, we're told that we should be deliberate in judgment. We should be deliberate in our judgment. The Mishnah is asking of us, don't allow your autopilot necessarily to take over. Don't just end up wherever you're going to end up without choosing. The Mishnah is asking of us, reach higher states of awareness, greater states of consciousness, and choose deliberately. Choose from a place of ruach, choose from a place of das. And remember that that's a key feature of how we can start to define our lives. And as well, when we are choosing and we own the choices that we make, what happens if something goes wrong somewhere, I could be more aware of it. I could be aware of it. If I'm not consciously choosing, I lose focus in where I've messed up a little bit. So choose deliberately. The commentaries explain something very interesting relating to the beginning of Al Sedra in Vayeshev. Vayeshev Yaakov ba'aretz gurei aviv ba'aretz Canaan. The Yaakov, Vayeshev, he wants to settle down. He's gone through so much. And he wants to now settle down. He has his children. Everything seems okay. So the commentaries say something quite interesting. Because he was Vayeshev, because, so to speak, that's it, he wants to finish, he wants to settle down, he lacked a little bit in his consciousness. He lacked in his awareness. And because he lacked in his awareness and he lacked in his consciousness, as difficult as it may be to say, Yaakov missed a little bit of what was going on in front of him. He wasn't as clued up as he could have been, as he should have been. He wasn't so deliberate in his judgment at this junction of his life. And as we know what happens throughout the Sedra, he misses vital signs which end up that Yosef is heading down towards Mitzrayim. And as we have said before, these parshiyos now lead into a family lawyer's favorite parshiyos. There's a lot of misunderstanding. There's a lot of breakdown. But we can share an idea. Where did it start from? What's the message we could learn? Vayeshev Yaakov, that he switched off a little bit. He wasn't deliberate in his judgment. And the takeaway from here is that we should choose the moments of life that we experience. We should stop as much as we can. And we could ask ourselves, what is my next action? Is it deliberate? Do I want this? Where's it going to take me? To be deliberate in judgment. Hamesunim bedin, be deliberate in judgment. And Be'ezras Hashem, we can all have a bracha, that we could be deliberate in judgment, and our deliberate judgment choices create for us a beautiful, wonderful, wondrous life.